Are you a Pisces, or perhaps you know someone who is? Have you ever wondered what it is that makes Pisces so emotionally rich, creative, and intuitive, yet at times, so easily overwhelmed by their own emotions? Pisces, as a water sign, is deeply connected to their feelings and the spiritual realm, but this connection often comes with its own challenges. Their ability to sense the energy around them and empathize with others can be both a gift and a burden, leading them to struggle with setting boundaries and staying grounded in the chaotic tides of life. For Pisces, the world is often seen through a lens of dreams and idealism, which can sometimes cloud their connection to reality. This is where the influence of Neptune, their ruling planet, plays a significant role. Neptune brings dreams, illusions, and spiritual depth, but it also has the potential to create confusion or disconnect from what is truly happening in the present moment. In relationships, work, and daily life, Pisces can sometimes feel torn between their dreamy visions of how things should be and the reality of how they actually are. This delicate dance between idealism and reality is what often shapes the Piscean journey, pushing them to navigate the ebb and flow of their emotions. By learning how to balance their emotional depth with practical, grounding techniques, Pisces can transform their dreams into something tangible while still staying true to their sensitive, intuitive selves. This is the journey we'll explore together: how Pisces can embrace their natural gifts while creating a sense of stability and inner peace in their lives. Understanding the emotional depth of Pisces and their spiritual nature. When it comes to understanding Pisces, one cannot ignore the profound emotional depth that defines them. As a water sign, they experience emotions on a much deeper level than many others, feeling the currents of life in ways that can be overwhelming and even difficult to put into words. This emotional landscape is where their strength lies, yet it also poses certain challenges, especially when their sensitivity becomes heightened to an extent that they find it hard to navigate through the world without feeling lost or consumed by their own feelings. Ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and spirituality, Pisces is naturally attuned to the metaphysical world. This planet imparts a sense of creativity and intuition, encouraging those born under this sign to reach beyond the physical realm and tap into the unseen energies of the universe. The spiritual connection they share with Neptune often results in an innate ability to understand the deeper meaning behind things, a sensitivity to energies, and a vivid imagination that can bring them closer to their dreams. Yet, this connection can also cloud their judgment at times, leaving them vulnerable to confusion, idealism, and disillusionment when the real world doesn't meet their high expectations. This deep connection to both the emotional and spiritual realms can create a unique perspective on life for Pisces. They are often the dreamers, the artists, and the philosophers, seeking not just to exist in the physical world but to transcend it and understand its mysteries. They may feel more comfortable in their imaginative world than in the practical aspects of daily life. However, this dreaminess can also cause them to become detached from reality, struggling to face situations where things aren't as perfect as they imagined. It is within this tension between their spiritual ideals and the reality they face that Pisces must learn to find a sense of grounding in order to stay balanced. The struggle of boundaries, navigating emotional sensitivity. One of the defining characteristics of Pisces is their natural empathy and emotional sensitivity. Their ability to tune into the emotions of those around them is extraordinary, making them some of the most compassionate individuals you will meet. However, this sensitivity often comes with a great burden: the inability to establish healthy boundaries. The sheer depth of their emotional capacity means they can absorb the feelings, energy, and sometimes even the pain of others. As a result, Pisces may find themselves overwhelmed by external influences, unable to distinguish their own feelings from those of the people around them. This lack of boundaries can manifest in various ways, especially in relationships, where Pisces might find themselves giving endlessly to others without considering their own needs. They are so attuned to the emotional currents of those they care about that they may forget to care for themselves. The challenge of protecting their emotional energy becomes even more complex when Pisces feels guilty or selfish for prioritizing their own needs over others. Their desire to be there for everyone, to offer support and care, is often driven by their need to feel validated through their deep connections with others. However, this can lead to emotional exhaustion, as their reserves are constantly drained. Learning to establish and maintain boundaries is an essential part of personal growth for Pisces. This does not mean they must shut off their empathetic nature, but rather they need to learn to preserve their emotional integrity by recognizing when they are giving too much of themselves. It's important for Pisces to realize that it is not selfish to protect their own well-being, and that sometimes, saying no or creating space for self-care is crucial. The challenge lies in finding that balance between compassion for others and self-preservation, understanding that they are not responsible for carrying the emotional burdens of the world alone. By setting clear boundaries, Pisces can cultivate healthier relationships, protect their energy, and maintain emotional resilience. The influence of idealism, embracing imperfection in a dream-filled world. Pisces are known for their idealistic nature, a trait that allows them to envision a world that is more beautiful, compassionate, and harmonious than what we often experience. This idealism can serve as a driving force for many of their endeavors, particularly in creative fields, where they can craft extraordinary works of art or express profound truths that others may miss. However, this same idealism can become a double-edged sword when it leads to unrealistic expectations and disappointment. The gap between what Pisces dreams of and what they experience in reality can be vast, and this discrepancy can cause them to feel disillusioned or defeated. They may find themselves frustrated when things don't measure up to their high standards, whether it's in relationships, careers, or personal goals. The challenge for Pisces lies in reconciling their dreams with the practicalities of life. They must learn to accept that life is not always as perfect as they envision and that imperfection is a natural part of the human experience. While their dreams are beautiful and inspiring, it's essential for Pisces to remember that the pursuit of perfection can lead to constant disappointment, rather than holding on to unrealistic expectations. Pisces can find fulfillment by embracing the imperfections in life, understanding that true beauty often lies in the flaws and the messy, unpolished moments. This does not mean giving up on dreams, but rather adjusting expectations to align with what is realistically possible while still holding space for hope and inspiration. By embracing imperfection, Pisces can free themselves from the cycle of disappointment and begin to experience life as it truly is, imperfect, yet still meaningful. Harnessing intuition, trusting the inner guide while staying grounded. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts Pisces possess. Their ability to tap into their inner wisdom, often guided by their emotional and spiritual connections, allows them to navigate life with a sense of trust that others may struggle to find. Pisces have a unique understanding of the world around them, sensing things that others might miss and connecting with the unseen energies that influence their lives. This intuitive nature can help them make decisions, find solutions, and guide them toward personal growth. However, intuition can also be tricky for Pisces. At times, they may struggle to differentiate between genuine intuitive insights and the emotions or illusions created by their imagination. When emotions run high, it can be easy for Pisces to confuse their feelings with their intuitive guidance, leading to confusion or poor decision-making. The challenge for Pisces is learning to discern when their intuition is leading them in the right direction versus when it is being clouded by emotional biases. To navigate this, Pisces must learn to balance their intuitive wisdom with a grounded approach to decision-making. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help them cultivate clarity and calmness, allowing their intuition to flow freely without the interference of overwhelming emotions. By developing a strong sense of self-awareness and tuning into the quiet, subtle voice of their intuition, Pisces can make more confident choices and move through life with greater ease. It's about trusting their inner guide while staying rooted in the present moment, allowing their intuition to lead the way without getting swept away by the tides of emotion. Finding harmony, cultivating emotional resilience through self-awareness. Pisces often find themselves caught between two worlds, one filled with dreams, imagination, and deep emotional currents, and another that demands practicality, structure, and groundedness. The key to thriving as a Pisces is learning to navigate both of these worlds with grace. This requires cultivating emotional resilience, the ability to experience and process deep emotions without being consumed by them. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to be unaffected by the challenges of life. Instead, it is about developing the ability to acknowledge and process feelings while maintaining a sense of balance and perspective. For Pisces, this can mean learning how to sit with difficult emotions without letting them dictate their actions. Practices like journaling, art, and self-reflection can help Pisces process their feelings in a healthy way, allowing them to release emotional tension and gain clarity. Through self-awareness and emotional resilience, Pisces can find harmony between their inner world and the external realities they face. They can learn to embrace their emotional depth as a source of strength, rather than something that weighs them down. As they develop emotional resilience, they can create a life that is both meaningful and peaceful, allowing their dreams to flourish without losing touch with the present moment. The balance between dreaming and reality, finding grounded inspiration. As we continue exploring the layers of Pisces nature, one key aspect that stands out is the delicate balance between their deep, dream-filled aspirations and the practical realities of life. Pisces, as natural dreamers, often find themselves envisioning a world that exists far beyond the confines of what others may perceive. Their dreams are vivid, complex, and beautiful, offering them an expansive view of the world. However, in their pursuit of these dreams, Pisces can sometimes overlook the limitations of reality. The challenge they face is finding a way to bring their dreams into existence without losing sight of what is achievable in the present moment. The idealism of Pisces can sometimes lead to a sense of detachment from the real world. The desire to see everything through a lens of perfection can make them reluctant to acknowledge the imperfections of life and the people around them. Yet, when they learn to reconcile their dreams with the practicalities of the world, Pisces can channel their idealism into something tangible and transformative. They have the ability to take abstract ideas and turn them into works of art, projects, or goals that carry the energy of their dreams into the physical realm. However, this process requires them to not only harness their creativity but also to adapt their expectations and be willing to engage with the world as it is, rather than how they wish it to be. This balance between the ideal and the real is crucial for Pisces' personal development. It is essential for them to acknowledge that their dreams are important, but they must also remain rooted in reality, understanding that not everything will unfold as planned. By learning to see beauty in imperfection, Pisces can unlock the potential of their dreams without feeling defeated when they don't manifest exactly as envisioned. They can find inspiration in the present moment, using their dreams as a guiding force to create something meaningful, even if it's not exactly what they imagined at the start. The role of creativity, channeling emotions into artistic expression. Creativity is an innate part of the Pisces personality, and it often serves as their primary outlet for processing and expressing their emotions. Their artistic abilities are vast, ranging from visual arts to music, writing, and beyond. For Pisces, creativity is not just about making something beautiful, it is a way of navigating the complex emotions that flow through them. It is an expression of their inner world, a way to externalize the emotions and dreams that can sometimes feel too overwhelming to contain. Whether it's through painting, composing music, or writing poetry, Pisces often turn to art as a means of both healing and self-discovery. Yet, the emotional depth of Pisces can sometimes make the creative process a double-edged sword. On one hand, their emotions provide a deep well of inspiration, allowing them to create works that are profoundly moving and full of emotional resonance. On the other hand, this same emotional depth can lead to moments of creative block or self-doubt. When Pisces feels overwhelmed by their own feelings, it can be difficult for them to tap into their creative flow. The pressure to create something meaningful can also create a sense of expectation, which can stifle their natural creativity. To navigate this challenge, Pisces must learn to embrace the creative process without judgment. They need to allow themselves to express their emotions freely, without worrying about the end result or whether their work is good enough. It is in this free-flowing, non-judgmental approach to creativity that Pisces can truly thrive. The act of creating, rather than the outcome, becomes the most important part of the process. By embracing the fluidity of their emotions and allowing their creativity to flow freely, Pisces can find a sense of release and healing through their art. Furthermore, creativity is not just an emotional outlet for Pisces, it also serves as a way for them to connect with others. Through their creative works, Pisces can communicate their deepest thoughts and feelings in a way that words often cannot express. This connection between the inner world of Pisces and the outer world of their audience is a vital aspect of their personal and spiritual growth. Their creativity allows them to share their experiences, make sense of their emotions, and contribute to the collective understanding of the human condition. Self-care and healing, nurturing the sensitive soul of Pisces. As a sign that is deeply connected to their emotions, Pisces often find themselves in need of healing and self-care. Their sensitivity can make them more prone to emotional exhaustion, especially when they take on the emotional burdens of others. As empathetic individuals, Pisces can become so consumed by the pain and suffering of those around them that they forget to care for their own emotional well-being. This neglect can lead to burnout, confusion, and a sense of depletion that can be difficult to recover from. Self-care for Pisces is not just about physical rest, it is about nurturing their emotional and spiritual health. Since Pisces are naturally attuned to the emotions of others, it is essential for them to create space for themselves to process their own feelings, without absorbing the weight of the world. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and time spent in nature can help Pisces ground themselves and release emotional tension. Similarly, engaging in creative outlets or simply taking time for solitude can be restorative for their sensitive souls. However, self-care for Pisces also involves setting boundaries. As we've discussed, Pisces often struggle with maintaining healthy boundaries, which can make it difficult for them to separate their own emotions from those of others. Learning to say no and create space for their own needs is a vital part of their self-care routine. It is important for Pisces to recognize that their emotional well-being must come first, as they cannot give from an empty cup. When they prioritize their own needs and take time for self-nurturing, Pisces can build the emotional resilience needed to continue offering their love and support to others. The process of self-care also ties into the healing journey for Pisces. Healing is not a one-time event but an ongoing process of reconnecting with the self. Through self-care, Pisces can learn to honor their own emotional needs, recognize when they need rest, and allow themselves to heal from the emotional weight they often carry. This healing process ultimately helps Pisces grow stronger, more centered, and more attuned to their true selves. The importance of emotional boundaries, protecting the inner world of Pisces. One of the most important aspects of personal growth for Pisces lies in their ability to establish and maintain emotional boundaries. As empaths, Pisces are naturally inclined to absorb the feelings and energy of those around them, which can leave them feeling overwhelmed or drained. The inability to distinguish their own emotions from the emotions of others can lead to a sense of confusion, as they become entangled in the emotional states of others. This can create a feeling of being lost or disconnected from their true selves. To protect their emotional well-being, Pisces must learn to create clear boundaries, both with others and with themselves. This involves recognizing when they are taking on too much emotional responsibility and learning to step back when they need to. Establishing boundaries doesn't mean shutting off their empathy or compassion. It means protecting their emotional space and knowing when to disengage from situations that are too emotionally taxing. For Pisces, boundary setting can be a challenging but necessary skill to develop. It involves learning to say no without guilt, recognizing when they are being drained, and taking steps to protect their own emotional energy. By creating these boundaries, Pisces can preserve their own well-being while still being there for others. This process of self-preservation enables them to maintain a sense of balance and emotional clarity, which ultimately enhances their ability to serve and support those they care about. Moreover, the act of setting emotional boundaries also strengthens the Piscean sense of self. As they learn to prioritize their own needs, they begin to reclaim their personal power and gain a deeper understanding of their emotional landscape. By protecting their inner world, Pisces can navigate life with greater confidence, knowing that they are in control of their emotional energy and that their well-being is their responsibility. Embracing the path of spiritual growth, Pisces is the spiritual seekers. Pisces, ruled by Neptune, is naturally drawn to spiritual exploration and personal growth. Their connection to the metaphysical realm gives them a unique perspective on life, and many Pisces feel called to seek out deeper truths about existence, the universe, and their own purpose. This spiritual journey is a vital part of the Piscean experience, offering them a path to self-discovery, healing, and connection to something greater than themselves. However, this path is not always easy. Pisces may face periods of confusion, uncertainty, and emotional turbulence as they seek to understand their place in the world. Their dreams, intuition, and sensitivity often guide them towards spiritual practices that offer solace and clarity, such as meditation, prayer, or energy healing. These practices can help Pisces connect with their higher selves and the universe, providing them with the guidance and insight they need to navigate life's challenges. While their spiritual journey is deeply personal, it is also one that invites Pisces to grow and evolve. As they explore different spiritual practices, philosophies, and belief systems, they begin to develop a stronger sense of purpose and direction. This growth allows them to integrate their spiritual insights with their emotional and creative capacities, creating a harmonious balance between their inner world and the external reality. For Pisces, the spiritual path is one of continual exploration and self-discovery. It is through this journey that they find the peace and fulfillment they seek, learning to navigate life's complexities with grace, intuition, and emotional wisdom. By embracing their spiritual nature and trusting in their inner guidance, Pisces can transform their dreams into a powerful force for personal growth and healing. Navigating the emotional currents, strengths, and vulnerabilities of Pisces' empathy. Pisces' ability to empathize deeply with others is a profound gift, one that connects them to the emotions of those around them in ways few can fully understand. This empathy allows Pisces to offer comfort, compassion, and support, making them invaluable friends, partners, and guides. However, this sensitivity also leaves them vulnerable to absorbing the emotions of others, often to the point where they lose sight of their own feelings and needs. The emotional currents that they are so adept at sensing can sometimes drown them, pulling them into the chaos of others' experiences and leaving them with little energy to attend to themselves. It is not uncommon for Pisces to feel overwhelmed by the emotional weight of the world. Their deep sense of empathy means that they often internalize the struggles and pains of those they care about, sometimes without even realizing it. This emotional absorption can lead to exhaustion, confusion, or a loss of personal direction. In order to truly flourish, Pisces must learn to distinguish their emotions from the feelings of others, an essential skill that allows them to maintain a sense of emotional clarity and preserve their own well-being. To begin to create space between their emotional selves and the external world, Pisces need to develop practices that help them reset and detach from the emotional energy around them. This practice of emotional detachment is not about abandoning their compassion but about learning to protect their personal energy. By doing so, Pisces can avoid the trap of becoming consumed by external emotional pressures, allowing them to maintain a healthy balance between their own emotional needs and the care they offer to others. Embracing change, the fluid nature of Pisces' growth and transformation. Pisces, being a mutable sign, are inherently adaptable and flexible, able to navigate through change with a natural ease that many other signs may find challenging. Their ability to embrace transformation, both internally and externally, is part of what makes them such dynamic individuals. However, the very nature of their adaptability can also present challenges. While they are capable of flowing with the changes in life, Pisces may struggle with the idea of permanence, sometimes feeling lost or uncertain when they are faced with situations that require stability or long-term commitment. This fluidity in their nature often makes Pisces particularly sensitive to transitions or shifts in their environment. They may feel uneasy when faced with fixed structures or routines that force them to commit to long-term plans. While Pisces thrive in environments that encourage creativity, exploration, and emotional connection, they can struggle when the external world requires them to be rigid or unyielding. Their journey of growth, then, involves not just embracing change but learning how to find their footing in the midst of it. To grow and evolve, Pisces must learn to anchor themselves in their inner world, drawing on their intuition and emotional strength to navigate periods of uncertainty. In the face of change, the challenge is to stay grounded and connected to their authentic selves, allowing the fluidity of their nature to be a source of power rather than a cause for confusion. By developing a stronger sense of self-trust and learning to value consistency in their own inner world, Pisces can find balance in the ever-changing tides of life. The quest for meaning, finding purpose beyond the surface. For Pisces, the search for meaning in life is often a central theme. Their spiritual and emotional sensitivity leads them to question the deeper purpose of existence, often feeling a strong inner pull to seek answers that lie beyond the physical and material world. This quest for meaning is what drives many Pisces to explore different philosophies, spiritual practices, and even creative expressions that offer them a deeper understanding of their place in the universe. They are constantly searching for something more, something beyond the ordinary, that will provide them with a sense of fulfillment and connection to the greater whole. This yearning for meaning can sometimes leave Pisces feeling dissatisfied with the conventional or superficial aspects of life. Their tendency to view the world through a lens of idealism makes it difficult for them to settle for what others might consider good enough. For Pisces, the pursuit of meaning is not just a casual interest but a profound, existential journey that guides their actions and decisions. They often find themselves drawn to mystical, philosophical, or artistic pursuits, where they can explore life's mysteries and connect with their spiritual essence. In their search for purpose, Pisces may at times feel disconnected or even lost, especially if they are unable to find something that aligns with their deep emotional and spiritual needs. This quest can lead to periods of introspection, where they question their direction in life or feel unsure about the future. However, these moments of uncertainty are also opportunities for growth, as they push Pisces to dig deeper into their own hearts and minds to discover what truly resonates with their soul. While the quest for meaning can sometimes feel elusive, it is important for Pisces to recognize that their journey itself holds value. Their search for purpose is not something to be rushed or forced, it is a natural, evolving process that will unfold as they continue to grow. By allowing themselves the freedom to explore, reflect, and trust their intuition, Pisces can eventually find the sense of meaning and fulfillment they seek, even if it is not in the traditional or expected ways. Integrating the self, unifying the emotional, creative, and spiritual aspects of Pisces. One of the greatest challenges for Pisces is the integration of their many complex layers, emotional, creative, and spiritual, into a cohesive sense of self. The emotional depth they experience can sometimes overwhelm their creative expression, leaving them feeling scattered or disconnected. Similarly, their strong spiritual awareness can lead them to detach from the material world, making it difficult for them to fully engage with practical aspects of life. The key to their personal growth lies in the process of uniting these different parts of themselves, creating a harmonious balance that allows them to live authentically and with purpose. To achieve this integration, Pisces must first learn to accept and honor all aspects of their being. Their emotions are not a weakness to be suppressed but a powerful source of insight and understanding. Likewise, their creativity is not just a fleeting talent but a vital expression of their innermost truth. Spirituality, too, is not something to be compartmentalized or relegated to the background, it is a core element of their identity that connects them to something greater. By recognizing the interconnectedness of these elements, Pisces can begin to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. This integration process requires Pisces to develop a strong sense of self-awareness, allowing them to navigate between their emotional, creative, and spiritual worlds with ease. It also involves learning to prioritize and manage their energy, so that they can devote time and attention to each aspect of their being without feeling overwhelmed. As Pisces integrate their emotions, creativity, and spirituality, they will begin to experience a deeper sense of wholeness, aligning with their true selves and stepping into their full potential. Transcending illusions, embracing the reality of Pisces' strengths and limitations. As we conclude this exploration of Pisces' journey, it is important to recognize the role that illusions play in their lives. The tendency to idealize situations, people, and outcomes can often lead to disappointment when reality does not match their expectations. Pisces are naturally inclined to see the world through a lens of dreams and possibilities, which can be both a gift and a challenge. Their ability to envision a better world is what drives them to create, to dream, and to heal, but it is also what can cause them to feel disillusioned when things don't live up to their ideals. To grow and thrive, Pisces must learn to transcend these illusions and confront the reality of their strengths and limitations. This does not mean abandoning their dreams or losing their sense of wonder. Rather, it is about learning to temper their idealism with a grounded understanding of what is possible. By accepting the reality of their emotional depth, creative power, and spiritual nature, Pisces can harness these gifts in ways that allow them to navigate life with greater ease and clarity. They will no longer be held back by unrealistic expectations but will instead learn to use their gifts in ways that bring them true fulfillment and purpose. Through this process of self-acceptance and reality checking, Pisces can come to appreciate the unique strengths they possess, while also acknowledging the areas where they need to grow. By embracing both their potential and their limitations, Pisces can create a life that is rooted in authenticity, balance, and peace. Their dreams, when aligned with reality, can serve as a source of inspiration, guiding them to manifest the life they truly desire. The role of Pisces in relationships, embracing love, boundaries, and self-worth. As we continue our exploration of Pisces' inner world, it's impossible to overlook the deep and complex role that relationships play in their lives. Pisces, with their incredible empathy, often form connections that transcend the ordinary. They have an innate ability to understand their partners on a level that goes beyond words, sensing their thoughts, emotions, and even their unspoken desires. This capacity for deep emotional connection allows Pisces to form bonds that are both intense and profoundly fulfilling. Yet, at the same time, this very same sensitivity can create challenges when it comes to maintaining healthy relationships. Pisces' natural inclination is to give, often to the point of self-sacrifice. They want to see their loved ones happy and will go to great lengths to ensure that their emotional needs are met. However, this selflessness can sometimes blur the lines of boundaries, leading Pisces to neglect their own emotional needs in favor of others. This can create a sense of imbalance, where Pisces find themselves emotionally drained or unfulfilled, despite giving so much to their relationships. Recognizing the importance of boundaries within relationships is essential for Pisces to maintain their well-being. Learning to say no, setting clear emotional boundaries, and recognizing when to prioritize self-care are critical steps for Pisces in ensuring that their relationships remain healthy and mutually supportive. Another aspect of relationships that Pisces must navigate is their tendency to idealize others, often seeing them through rose-colored glasses. While this quality can create the potential for incredibly romantic and imaginative connections, it can also lead to disappointment when others inevitably fall short of Pisces' lofty expectations. The key for Pisces lies in embracing the imperfection of others, just as they embrace their own imperfections. Through this acceptance, they can cultivate deeper, more genuine connections, based on mutual respect, understanding, and authenticity. The more Pisces learns to balance their compassion and idealism with a realistic view of others, the more fulfilling their relationships can become. Pisces' journey to self-awareness and spiritual fulfillment. The path to self-awareness for Pisces is both a spiritual and emotional journey. As a deeply intuitive and spiritually inclined sign, Pisces often find themselves searching for a greater meaning in life. This quest for purpose is not just about understanding the world around them. It is about finding a sense of connection to the universe and understanding their place within it. Spiritual fulfillment is a key component of the Piscean journey, as they seek to integrate their emotional depth, creativity, and intuition into a harmonious and balanced existence. However, Pisces' tendency to become lost in their emotions or dreams can sometimes make it difficult for them to clearly define their purpose or direction. They may find themselves drifting from one idea or passion to the next, often unsure of which path to follow. This lack of direction can create a sense of inner turmoil, especially when Pisces feel disconnected from their spiritual goals. The challenge for Pisces is to cultivate a sense of grounding in their spiritual practices. By staying rooted in their inner wisdom, engaging in consistent spiritual practices, and seeking clarity through reflection, Pisces can align themselves with their true path. It is through this connection to their inner self that Pisces will find the guidance they seek, ultimately leading them to greater peace, fulfillment, and a deeper understanding of their spiritual journey. This process of self-discovery and spiritual growth is not always linear. For Pisces, it can often feel like an ebb and flow, with moments of clarity followed by periods of doubt. However, it is this fluidity that defines their growth. Rather than seeking definitive answers or rigid paths, Pisces can embrace the natural flow of their spiritual evolution, trusting that each experience, each challenge, and each triumph brings them closer to the truth of who they are. By cultivating patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to evolve, Pisces can embrace their spiritual path with a sense of trust and open-heartedness. As we reflect on the journey of Pisces, we see a sign that is truly unique in its emotional depth, spiritual awareness, and creative vision. Pisces possesses an inner world that is rich with feeling, imagination, and compassion. And it is through embracing both their gifts and challenges that they can truly thrive. Learning to balance their idealism with practicality, setting healthy boundaries in relationships, and connecting with their inner wisdom are all key components of Pisces' personal growth. By doing so, they can continue to inspire those around them and create lives that are both meaningful and fulfilling. If you're a Pisces, remember that your sensitivity and intuition are your superpowers. Don't let the challenges you face in life dim the light of your true self. Embrace your dreams, trust your heart, and remember that finding balance will help you turn your aspirations into reality. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the world of Pisces. If you found this video helpful or insightful, please consider giving it a like and sharing it with others who may benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to Zen Mind Peaceful Life for more content on astrology, self-growth, and emotional well-being. Your journey towards a peaceful and balanced life starts here, so stay tuned for more. Until next time, take care and keep growing.